Hello, my name is Angel, and before we start, I'd like to let you know where you can find Spin on Rock. We are on all podcast platforms as well as YouTube, so make sure you check us out on all of those. Make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube and give us those 5 stars on podcast platforms. We are also on TikTok and Twitter, so make sure you follow so you can get clips and episode updates. We release every Monday, so make sure you tune in so you never miss. Hello, and welcome to the Spin on Rock podcast. I am your host, Angel, and with me today is
Eugene,
Tyler.
And Vaughn.
We have a lot to talk about because the season is 2 weeks away from ending. Holy cow. Where have the time gone? As you can see, we're all back and we have some heavy hitting topics. First off, let's start with the biggest news to one of us here. March Madness Final Four is like what, a week away?
yes, that's literally this Saturday, bro.
So
Crazy,
let's start off with the guy who has a school in the Final Four. Eugene, how you feeling about March Madness?
bro. 2 days ago, I was smoking on that Roll Tide pack. Today, I'm smoking on that Blue Jay pack. Next, I don't want to jinx it, but I think I'm gonna be smoking on another pack. Bro, I saw it was a crazy stat though. They were throwing out some crazy stats during this game. So it said one of them was like now it would be for the past 15 consecutive games we've held those teams to like whatever their scoring average was, like under that. And then throughout the tournament, we've held each team under like 60 points. Like it's crazy stuff. Our defense is solid. We beat the best team in the nation. Everything else should be easy on out. FAU, I don't know who they are. That's why I'm leaving it. That's why I'm leaving it.
It was just last
about-
episode we were talking about, this SDU Alabama matchup, and I was praying on their downfall. Eugene was hopeful, and it happened.
Honestly, I didn't make it. Like I didn't see us even making it past the Sweet 16. Given how good Bama is, but we beat Bama. We beat Creighton. Next up, Florida Atlantic. But Florida Atlantic, don't get me wrong, they're a 9 seed, but they've been looking kind of nice throughout the tournament. They're in the Final Four for a reason. So, hopefully we can make it past them and, get to that natty. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm trying not to be too hyped right now. But if we do get past them, next week is going to be crazy. I'm going to be so lit.
What about you, Tyler? Have you been keeping up with March Madness? We missed you on our last week's March Madness talk.
Yeah, not as much as Eugene. Obviously, I've actually sat down and caught a couple games. The first one I saw was when NC State lost to Creighton at like the last, like I want to say like maybe 5 minutes. What was his name? Taquavion Smith. He had like 30 points, and it seemed like he was the only one that was trying to keep him in it. They all looked kind of like defeated, like mentally, and I felt kind of bad too. But I mean, obviously, Creighton wanted it more, and I didn't even realize that they played Eugene's team and lost. So there's that. And then I watched most of the Purdue and FDU game, and I was kind of surprised that FDU beat Purdue. But then again, this is college basketball, so anything happens. So the games that I've seen have most definitely been entertaining, and that's honestly why I like college basketball, because you never know who's gonna win. And all the brackets were shattered, I think, very early in?
Yeah, like half a round, bro. It was that first Furman win against Virginia. It was like more than half of the brackets just got obliterated.
Yeah, because I've seen like before, like all of them got destroyed. There was like I think they said 2.6% were accurate, and then the next day, obviously that was out the window. So,
and it's crazy. Technically, we were the underdog in this Creighton game because they had Creighton minus 1.5, but it was pretty much even. And there's something else I was gonna say, I forgot, but they don't want to put respect on SDSU, bro. That's all I'm gonna say, bro.
Hey, look how far y'all going though. Hey, best of luck, school, man, for real.
They got it. They underrating us, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah, hey, they gonna pay. We gonna see.
Yeah, March Madness has been kind of insane. I feel like it's been a while since I've seen this much hype around March Madness. So love that for basketball fans. Moving on. I think let's do this in most importance to least importance. So I guess the least important thing right now is that uh LeBron is back and he's coming off bench. First time since I think Tyler told us first time since 2007.
Yep.
So, I mean, Eugene. I mean, it's a good week for Eugene.
For real.
I mean, it is. So, like, we just hit 500. It's an accomplishment for the Lakers, for where we've been at the entire season. So that's good. We need every single one of these 9 games. Just got to hope the Warriors have more away games than home games. And we just got to win more games than they do at this point. Try and get that 6 seed so we can get a guaranteed spot in the playoffs because I don't know if we want to make that play in. But we'll see.
A little foreshadowing there. Tyler Vaughn, do you have any thoughts on the LeBron coming back situation?
I mean, oh, no, you got it.
No, I was just gonna say real quick, like one episode in the past we were talking about like thoughts on the Lakers and how the stretch without LeBron would be the most important. Could AD hold it down? And he basically did. They're at the 8th, so that's a success in its own. And it's just like Eugene said, those 9 games, those are some key games coming up.
It's crunch time.
Yeah, he came back at the best time. Like he really came at the last second. So I mean, we'll see. I mean, they're playing the Bulls right now. I don't know who's winning. I haven't checked. But hey, I ain't gonna lie. I thought we was gonna lose when he came back. But last time I checked, we was winning. But nah, it's good for the Lakers though. In all seriousness, to have your best player back and just to get him back in rhythm coming off the bench. So it's good for the Lakers though.
Just to kind of wrap things up for this topic, all I'm gonna say is we've seen how AD has been playing. Like he's been playing like he dropped like 37 and like 15 last game. LeBron's back. Let's see how he holds that up.
Yeah, it's nice. Every time LeBron's on a team, all of a sudden the players lose half their talent. So
they just don't know how to play basketball anymore. But we'll see.
Hey, hopefully Austin Reeves can keep playing like out his mind like he's been recently.
True.
Well, side note, he's been getting hella coverage. I ain't gonna lie.
Because the NBA is boring right now. We should not be talking about a second-year player. I'm sorry. He's nice, but he's not that nice. 30 points. Congrats. Keep it going.
Facts.
All right. Next thing on our list, the World Cup happened in December. Baseball had the WBC like a week ago. And both of those, big numbers. I mean, those are the most numbers baseball has seen since like the 1950s. So I just want to know, should basketball invest more into their I know FIBA has a World Cup thing. Should basketball invest more into a international competition type tournament?
I mean, I would say yeah, because the game's already getting global. So why not do something that'll get more international fans to like really get more interested in the game? So I mean, it's just more entertainment. So I'm not opposed to it at all.
Yeah, I think to answer the question, yes. I've always been excited that when FIBA comes around, I typically watch it. I don't know how they would garner more interest, in regards to FIBA or just starting a whole different other separate, World Cup kind of thing. But yeah, I think so. Cause like Tyler was just saying, just over the years, how much attention, EuroLeague players have gotten, African players are starting to get, since the NBA started their own league over there, China and Australia, so just be interesting to see like all of these international players and, some of the best players in the world, like, compete at the highest level. It would be pretty cool to see.
Yeah, I think like if you're a basketball fan, you want more basketball, but also how would that look? Like we already do have FIBA competing countries against one another, and then Olympics every 4 years. So it's kind of like where would this also fit, especially with an NBA season ongoing? So you'd have to do it somewhere in the summer, or guys are usually gonna, go easy. Like that's like their rest period. So it's kind of like where would you fit that? Oh,
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if like NBA and FIBA like collab to make the FIBA competition a lot more important. Like maybe if the NBA like put some money in there, because like we all said, right now the big thing for sports is growing your international competition. I mean, baseball is trying to do it now. Football is trying to do it, like going to London and shit like that. So if you don't want to be left behind, you got to grow your international scene now. So
Right.
it would be interesting if the NBA kind of like started teaming up with FIBA to make that more possible.
Right. Or even, just as simple as partnering with, the other leagues in general, like Adam Silver probably knows all of the other, owner or commissioners, whatever they have. Like Yao's China league, he played in the league. So that's like an easy connection right there. And then people come out of Australia all the time too. So I feel like it would be, I'm not gonna say easy, but it could happen. I feel like it's doable.
Yeah. All right. Now getting into some bigger NBA news. Let's go with Dame and Ben Simmons are both reportedly going to get shut down for the rest of the season. One is more important than the other. Let's be honest.
No cap. What?
First,
Man,
let's talk
what?
about Dame being shut down. How do y'all think this will affect the Blazers?
I mean, he is the Blazers.
Yeah.
It's the Portland Dames.
Honestly.
I mean, have they been officially eliminated yet? I feel like they have, right? If they're doing this,
Not
so.
quite.
no.
They well on the way though, but
yeah, they are on the way. They're 4 games back and they keep losing games. So
Right.
I think
So it's probably this, just saving him. Don't want him to get hurt. Saving him for next season, kind of thing.
do you think like what's the chances you think they'll just be just trade him and like try to blow it up? Because I was really pondering that when I read it, that they're gonna shut him down. Like, are they gonna keep trying to build around him, or like, do you think they'll just be like, we tried, bro, and like, when I saw it, I just kept thinking about it because like the roster, they got a young roster, and it just, I don't know, like, I want the best for him, but it's like, damn, bro, like it's been so long.
I don't even think the Blazers know, bro. I don't even think the Blazers know what they do.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Like, he just signed that contract. Like, I don't even think they know what they're gonna do.
No, actually, I forgot about that. I ain't gonna lie. So they're probably not gonna get rid of him. It just made me think about that because, like, the man's been carrying that. He's been in the NBA for what? How many seasons?
Oh, God,
I
have no clue.
Like, I don't even know. Like, what? 10 seasons?
I feel like he's been 10. How long has Curry been in the league? Because I think they got drafted around the same time.
He came in. Did he come in 09?
I thought Curry was 09.
Because that's like what him, DeMar, all them.
Yeah,
they probably were the same class. If anything, I don't know. But
okay.
That's just, I don't know. Obviously, it's gonna. I know you got it.
No, just for Dame to ever leave, they would have to have like a meeting with each other and lay out every option. And I feel like Dame would always pick like, no, I want to win here. But like, I think the Trailblazers would have to show how gloomy that option would be, and then like kind of coerce them into let's trade you.
Thanks.
Both
at that point, the league would allow tampering. Like they would allow the Trailblazers to tamper.
Like I'm at a point to where if you join the Warriors, I wouldn't care. Like, go win, please. Like, just get out of there. I want you to be great, bro.
Yeah, the
That's
Trailblazers
just
would pay to send Dame to like Golden State Warrior parties or some shit. Like, hey, it's pretty nice on that side, huh?
How you're close to home? How you liking it?
That'd be
Oh.
funny.
I think, yeah, I think the real question is, will Dame even like, how will Dame handle this? Like, them saying like sit out for the rest of the season, because we all know Dame probably wants to be in that play-in spot so badly.
Oh, what?
Right.
So like, I wonder how he took them bringing that up, or if they even brought it up to him first at all. Like,
He found out via shams, like
so yeah, I don't know. Poor Dame. When I saw this, I just thought about the picture of him and KD he posted when KD requested a trade. Like the first thing I thought about.
My next chapter.
So sad. All right, and now Ben Simmons is shut. The worst part is that in the Shams tweet it said Ben Simmons probably not joining the team for the rest of the season.
Man, let's be honest. He basically was already shut down. Like
right.
there ain't much to say, bro. Like,
And has been shut down like 5 of the past 6 years. Like
there you go. Like, there ain't much to say.
he was
on,
injured
bro.
his first 2 and then just hasn't played since then. Like I don't know, man.
Has he played a full season? Like,
Yeah,
he
I
hasn't,
mean,
like the past 2, right?
oh, not
like
in the past 2.
before.
Definitely not
I mean,
in the
no, sorry, the
past.
past, not the past 2, because he was in Brooklyn.
He
the
played a
past,
full season. The last time he played a full season was, I think, the year after his Rookie of the Year win.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I was gonna say that too. Yeah.
Okay. But
That was the last time. I saw a stat that said like Ben Simmons had been declining since he won Rookie of the Year, which is so wild.
We might have to have a biggest bust episode, like for
Oh,
real.
man, what?
Hot
Like,
takes coming up. That's definitely in the books.
like
Like,
he would be either out of league or on a minimum contract the way he's playing now. And like this is a guy who probably has no friends in the league. You know what I mean? Like no one's probably gonna be vouching for Ben Simmons. Like think about it. He was drafted alongside, Brandon Ingram, Jaylen Brown, but he's not really a part of that draft class because he was injured that season.
yeah.
And then the Jason Tatum, Donovan Mitchell draft class, he's not really friends with any of those guys. I mean, he was literally like shitting on Donovan Mitchell that whole Rookie of the Year campaign. And then his old team, the Sixers, he's burned those bridges. Joel Embiid don't give a shit about him no more. And no one on the Nets, there's no way people on the Nets like Ben Simmons. The coach, Jack Vaughn, knows what Steve Nash didn't. He can't play him and Claxton at the same time. They both can't shoot. If he doesn't play point guard, still can't shoot, needs the ball in his hands to be effective. So I don't think Nets like that type of play style. And so like who would this man like have close ties with? No one. So the only reason he's in this league is because that massive contract is keeping him here.
That's crazy. He just broke down Ben Simmons' life in like 2 minutes.
I know, like, you diced that boy up verbally, bro. Like, jeez.
Bro, I can't
Like-
even say it's sad to see anymore because, like,
Right.
I'm gonna be
He kinda
honest.
brought it on himself.
He brought it
like,
on himself. Yeah, like I used to be like, damn, bro, all that talent is so sad. And now it's kind of like, what? Like, does Mans even want to play basketball at this point? There's no way he
Same,
does.
Yeah,
He just chasing a bag. He just chasing a bag, and that bag is gonna run out like mad quick.
yeah, because I remember like in one of our like very early episodes, I was saying like I'm not praying on his downfall, but like I'm not like really like it's just I'm at a point where it's just like it's whatever now. Cause like at first I was like, you know what? Like just hoping like he could probably get back into a rhythm. Maybe he needed the change of scenery in Brooklyn, but that obviously doesn't mean shit because like he's not even playing for them. Like it's just like damn, bro, you got all this talent and it just like went down the drain or something. I don't know what happened, bro.
Yeah, maybe he needs to change a conference. Get him out of the
Change of
East.
conference.
Throw him on the Jazz, bro.
No facts.
Mhm.
All
Right.
right. One.
No, you got it.
Oh no, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just saying, like, if he were to ever, for some reason, put on that purple and gold, bro, I could only imagine, like, the fans would tear down LA so fast if they managed to sign.
I would buy his jersey and then burn it. like,
We don't
that
want
honey
to.
going down the drain. Like,
Yeah, that man, he already put on purple and gold for LSU, and he gave up on them, so they already burned his jersey.
right.
Australia, I remember he was gonna play in I think the Olympics for them, and then backed out last minute. So he don't even have his country at his back, you know.
He's got no friends. Like,
It's so wild how, like, he got the LeBron cosign and everybody thought he was going to be like the next LeBron, and he's just Ben Simmons now. Like, he like when you think Ben Simmons, you don't
sad.
think basketball anymore. You just
you
shit
think
on his
Bum
name.
Simmons, like,
Exactly.
Yeah,
Like,
so sad, dude.
it's sad, bro. It's bad.
Mans was a generational talent. like
gone to waste.
gone
God,
to
like-
waste. No
like, damn.
injuries whatsoever. No bad like teams didn't screw him over. He just kind of like just fizzled out.
Man,
Wow.
if he had just one session with lethal shooter, you know, get a jump shot, things could be different right now. But he didn't want
That's
to. So.
facts. That is facts.
So wild. All right. Moving on to some rule changes, and this is our last piece of news. I don't know if it's official or if they brought the topic to the table, but NBA is thinking about making it to where you have to play a certain amount of games to get a big award. How do y'all feel about that?
I agree with it.
Same.
I like when LaMelo won Rookie of the Year. I'm not hating, obviously, but like he was hurt literally an entire half of the season, and I think it was that second half of the season. Meanwhile, Ant was healthy, probably about I think like 80% of that season, who easily could have won and didn't. I felt like Ant got robbed. But I feel like I don't know what the what the number they put on it is. It's probably like at least like 50, 60 games. I feel like it would be. I feel like that's a good number. But yeah, I think if it's not under effect already, I feel like that would be a good I guess rule change.
Yeah. It also kind of feels ceremonial in nature because, like, when's the last MVP only played 40 games? You know, like that's always a big discussion. It should have been a bigger part of that Rookie of the Year discussion. I agree, but like no Defensive Player of the Year or Sixth Man of the Year I can recall that didn't play a majority of the season. But I think it will be more important for all NBA teams because, you know, 15 guys, usually one or two of them are like, oh, he like took this guy's position who should have been there. Didn't play enough games. And so I think that's where it'll be important, especially when it comes to big contract stipulations. I think that's where it'll be more or most important.
Yeah, they pretty much covered what I was gonna say. Just kind of drive the point home of like actually showing up and proving why you earned that award. The best ability is availability, and it would suck if you play 20 games and you got one dude who played almost damn near all 82, and he loses to some dude who played like less than half or more than half that. So it just drives the point home on the criteria that a player should meet, and I agree with that.
Yeah, I think it will be a really good move. It'll also nudge some people to play more games. Like if you really want to have those accolades, like you would play more games by default, like just so you can get them now. I also think like we all mentioned the Rookie of the Year race between LaMelo and Ant. Like, let's be honest, LaMelo got it mostly on the fact that he's LaMelo Ball. So it also stopped moments like that where like just the name itself helps you out. Where like I personally don't think names should help you win awards. Maybe All-Star, fine, no big deal. But awards itself, I feel like names shouldn't play factor in it, and with that race name really did help LaMelo out a whole lot.
Right.
And also with awards, like media also is a huge part of it. So
Mhm.
I can see why he won it because of that. I know media does play a huge role in that. So
I guess that just brought up a question I just thought of. Do you think fans should have some type of percentage, like voting for NBA awards?
No.
God,
Yeah,
Can't say
no.
that 'cause
God,
they're all
no.
gonna troll. They're all gonna troll hard as hell. Like
You seen the All
troll-
Star vote? We seen names like Zaza, Derrick
Yeah.
Rose. Like, God, no.
Also, you can't like take the bias out of a fan. They're probably gonna just like vote their best player on their teams, respectively. You know.
Because I wasn't thinking like, the percentage of an all-star game per se, but like 5-10%, and then the rest goes to GMs and media and whatever. But yeah, now that y'all bring that up.
All right, getting into the meat of this episode. Like I said, we brought it up, 9 games left. Play-ins is just around the corner. We got to talk about teams who do and don't want to be in the play-in, because the play-in race in both conferences are so tight. So let's go over the standings. We'll start off with the East standings, 1 through 10. Milwaukee, Boston, Philly, Cleveland, New York. Both New York's Knicks 5, Nets 6, Heat 7, Hawks 8, Toronto 9, and Bulls 10. Do you guys want me to say the West first and then we get into our do's and don'ts, or do you have an East do and don't?
I think we can start East.
Okay. So let's break it down the East then. Who doesn't want to be in play-ins right now? I mean, that the East play-in race is just as tight as the West.
So, I'm gonna start it off with Miami Heat because they're 7 right now, right? So
Yeah.
Mhm.
they've been struggling to try and get over the Brooklyn Nets in the standings and maintain that. And it's not just if they're in the play-in, they have the possibility of losing. Like they've been a pretty mid team. They're y'all see that Udonis Haslem like, looking angry on the bench when they're getting blown out. Like,
Bro, oh my! The comments on that were hilarious. I remember that. I remember some dude was saying, "Bro, averages 200 claps a game and 15 water bottle passes. That should be more than enough." It's funny because like I knew what the comments were like right after I got done seeing the video, so I was not disappointed.
Violated.
No cap.
I know he's not like pretending, but it does kind of seem like he's acting. Kind of seems a little disingenuous. He does nothing on that bench. Like, even considering, like, player coach, okay, but you got guys like Gabe Vincent and Max Strus who were two-way players and then earned their way to a permanent roster spot, and they're in the rotation. Could have had another one. Could have had another guy like that, but has them taking up a spot. But so they're 7. They don't want to be in that play-in tournament because even if they win, they'll have to face the Celtics if the standings ended today. So it's either Celtics or Bucks. They're fighting for that 1-2 seed, and that's not a matchup you want round 1, because then you still got to face either the Sixers in the semifinals or the Bucks in the semifinals, and then you're probably going to have to face one of those teams in the Eastern Conference Finals. So that's hard series after hard series after hard series, and they're not going to win.
Especially straight out of the play-ins too. Like you don't want to go from play-ins to Celtics. Like that's not a matchup you want.
So Jimmy Butler looks distressed out there. Like Bam is playing good, but the rest of the team really isn't. And that's why it's so jarring, because they were the 1 seed last season. So I don't know why they fell off a cliff this season, but they definitely want to get that 6th seed to at least have a chance at beating the Sixers.
What do y'all think? How do y'all feel about the Heat?
I agree with it. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't really disagree with anything he said.
Yeah.
Because I was just thinking too, like they don't want to see if the standings were set and playoffs started today. They don't want to see the Celtics because they're not winning that. They might win one game, might. That's probably a sweep.
Yeah, it's kind of sad, but it's so true. Like, if the Heat get Celtics, Bucks, like I'm not saying they'll lose their first playing game, but let's say they do, it's not like, woof, at least we don't have to face the Celtics. No, it's like Bucks. Like you're still screwed either way. So you want that net spot because I would pray to not get the Celtics or the Bucks from right out the gate. So it's a rough spot to be in for sure.
The team that I say doesn't want to make the play-in because it's very well possible that they could. The Knicks. There's still 9 games left. They're only like a game and a half, 2 games ahead of the Nets. And if the Heat can somehow, win some games and move up to that 6th spot, then the Nets the Knicks would move down to that 7 and they'd be in the play-in. And I feel like they would be in the same position as the Heat, as we were just saying, don't really want to go against either the Bucks or the Celtics. Because that's $200, $200 million, you know how I feel about them. So they're not doing a whole bunch, but I don't think the Knicks want to see playing either.
No,
Yeah.
I totally. People are calling this, when I can't believe I'm saying this, but it's low-key true, like one of the better Knicks teams we have seen in years. And like you have that label and the pressure from your own fans. You do not want to lose in the play-ins or the first round. So like
Right.
it would just be disappointment if they like do either of those. So I definitely agree with that. Like they want that easy pickings of either Nets or right. They'll face the Nets, right? No,
The Knicks will
It'd be
right now,
Cavs, right?
where they're at. Yeah, it'd be Cavs.
Cavs. Yeah. Never mind. Yeah, like it's kind of rough for the Knicks. Like you definitely don't want to be in the play-ins, but I feel like they don't even want to like face the Cavs either. So it's like the Knicks are in a pretty hard spot.
They could put up a decent fight against the Cavs, but Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland, and then they got a bunch of bigs that they like to play. So yeah, it'd be the easiest of teams, but it's still not going to be, anything guaranteed, So
yeah, facts.
Yeah, the Knicks definitely don't want to see the play-in tournament
at all.
Especially because won't they face the Hawks in it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they would actually.
So I don't think they want that matchup either.
They already got PTSD, bro.
Most of that team is still there. Julius, RJ, like hell no, they don't want to face the Hawks.
Speaking of the Hawks, they're in a rock and a hard place because let's say they maintain that 8th seed and make it out. You got Milwaukee, you got to face. So I don't. And they've been playing they've been even the whole season. They're currently 37-37. So I don't know what solution I could come up with for them. They're just. I really don't know. I know that if they make it, let's say they make it out the play-in, they have to face the Bucks if they stay in the 8th spot. So they're in a really weird predicament. So I don't know if I just keep winning games, I guess, but it's as the season shows, it's hard for them to
they're
be
mid.
consistent. So exactly, they're literally mid right now. So it's just hard to I don't know what. Just try to win as much as you can before the season ends. I don't know if it'll really drastically change their spot like that, but
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Unless Quinn Snyder suddenly implements this like superhero game plan and they just soar through the standings, they're probably locked in that play-in tournament.
That's what
Either
I'm-
way, they're either out of the play-in or they're out first round. So
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a rock and a hard place for them, literally. So
Yeah, no, that's also another team that would get decimated by Bucks or Celtics. I'll tell you a team who definitely doesn't want to be in the play-in, the Nets. If the Nets get in the play-in, they're not making it out. They are not making it out, bro.
Mhm.
All the teams we listed off, they kind of have a chance of making out, but then they'll get decimated in the first round. The Nets, they do not they do not want that play-in
No
spot.
chance.
It'll be a waste of their time. Like they want to hold on to that 6 seed as much as possible. It's mostly like I feel like Nets, the way they're thinking it, screw over the other teams. The teams that actually deserve to be there. They're just screw them over. So that way you can at least chill for the first few weeks of the postseason. Well, yeah, I said Nets because they kind of got abandoned. Like they're left
No, like
defense-
actually though.
like they're in the lion's den. Like they do
Oh,
not
definitely.
deserve to be there. All right. You want to do now?
Yeah.
I bet. I guess I'll kick off because I just ended down. I'm gonna say Bulls. I'm gonna say Bulls do want to be in the play-in because I'll be honest. If they don't make it, knowing them, they would probably do something drastic in the off season. I don't think Bulls fans want to see that, and I don't think the players on the Bulls want to see that. So I think they do want to make the play-in.
Yeah, I mean that is like actually like the team I chose, so I obviously
Alright.
agree with you. So I mean we have a somewhat better front office than Garpax. I'm so glad we got them out of there because they've been there for too long. But no, definitely I mean I don't see them making it out the first round because let's say if they make the 7 or the 8 seed, they got Boston and Milwaukee. And they got sunned by Milwaukee the last time they made the playoffs. So, I don't know. I mean, we got Patrick Beverly on the team, so hopefully he can muster up some of that Timberwolves energy he had and get us in there at least. It's something that we can still somewhat contend. But I didn't realize that we were gonna fall this low and coming into the season. And it doesn't help that Lonzo had to get a cartilage transplant, I believe it was. So our point guard woes have still been going on, but yeah, we could. I think we can at least make the play-in. Like we have to at least make the play-in. Like you can't have 3 stars on the team and then just not. Like it's just.
It's also like the teams behind you guys. It would be embarrassing.
Oh,
And you lost-
Washington, I think. Yeah, well, Washington. Like we
Don't
have.
let
I
my
think-
Pacers make it, bro.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Y'all got a young team. We got 3 all-stars on the team. Like,
yeah, like I'd rather watch the Bulls just because if they do make playoffs, I would just like to see like some form of revenge against the Bucks. Like I don't think they stand a chance, but if they make it as hard as they can against the Bucks, I think that would be entertaining. Like if they could somehow make it a 6-game series, just like of grit, because Patrick Bev doing his thing. So I think that would be the most entertaining. Whereas the Wizards, I don't think anyone wants to see the Wizards in playoffs. That would be embarrassing too. Like,
clean sweep, bro.
yeah,
I'm gonna go the opposite way, and I'm gonna say the Raptors. Assuming because they'll probably be an A seed, right? If they win or if they make it out. So I don't watch it, the Raptors, but I feel like they can make a dent in the Bucks, maybe just a little bit. Pascal and Giannis kind of battling it out, but got Giannis is unguardable anyway. So, but I feel like I don't know that the Raptors maybe, possibly, somewhat can make a dent. Obviously they wouldn't win if they did win, that would be the upset of the century. But I don't know. I feel like the Raptors do want to be in the play-in because they still got something to prove, especially, with Kawhi not being there. But yeah.
Yeah, I would like to see that too. I think Toronto fans would love to see Scotty Barnes in the playoffs for the first time to see what he can do. It'd be a good building off point. Plus, I think there's a lot of potential 40-point scorers on that team. You got Gary Trent, Van Vliet, Siakam. So I think it would be entertaining if they did squeeze in.
Right.
But,
I would at least like to see 6 games. At
Yeah.
least. But
so on the off chance Bulls don't make it in, I don't want to see the Wizards in. But if the Pacers squeeze in, more Benedict Mathurin time. So
hey, I would not be disappointed.
yeah, and
I would
that's
not be disappointed.
a team where they're young, but they do got vets like Heald and Turner. So I think they could be a Grizzlies team because I think when Ja was a rookie, they made play-in but lost. And then year after that, they built off of that and became pretty high seed, went to playoffs. So I think that could be a similar situation for the Pacers. At least that's what I'm hoping. Just based on how young guys tend to get better and trend upwards stat-wise. So that could potentially be an interesting see in the play-in tournament at least.
And it'd be good to see Tyrese playing the playoffs for the first time, coming off an All-Star appearance and all that, so he can really showcase why he's an All-Star.
Mm-hmm.
So, and like you said, you have a Hill and Turner, so they could probably put up a good fight, but I don't see them getting past the first round at all. But it would be good to see.
It would just if, which is a big if, the Pacers were to make it, that means seeds 5 through literally 10 fell heavy because we are 2 games back from the 10 seed, roughly. And how many games back from the Knicks? Knicks are 11.5 back. That's 9 games. 9 games back from the Knicks. And that's to be in the playoffs. What's the top seed? 7? That is 7 games back from the Heat. So it's we need everyone else to lose, and we need to go on a crazy 7-game win streak,
Yeah.
just to make the play in. But hey, it's March. Anything can happen.
No, facts. I think that's the one organization that would probably mostly do it for the experience too, because they're all young, so the experience will help a lot. I feel like Bulls and Raptors are mostly doing it for to keep the team intact and for the fan base not to be too mad at the front office, because the Pacers weren't even expected to be this close, to be honest. So the fact that they're even in talks is probably an upside. All right. You want to talk about the Wizards at all?
I almost did. I'm not gonna lie, but there's nothing to talk about.
I think the only thing they'll gain out of being in the plains is Bradley Beal can try to fend off the bag chasing allegations. That'd be the only thing that the team would benefit from. But other than that, I don't think anyone wants to see the Wizards in the postseason.
Right.
It'd be Bradley Beal scores 40, Porzingis 20, and they lose by 50.
The last time I was excited was when Don Wall was there. So
yeah, facts.
that was really it.
All right, let's look at the West. 1 through 10. Nuggets, Memphis, Kings, Suns, Clippers, Warriors, Timberwolves, Lakers, Pelicans, and Thunder. There's a lot of teams who don't want to be in the play-in right now in the West side of things. Who wants to kick us off?
Well, They're 11 right now, so you didn't even mention them. The Mavericks do not want to be in that play-in. They should have locked up that 6 or 5 seed, but ever since that trade happened,
You're
they are
not
dog water.
lying. Yeah, you are not lying.
This got Luca like in his feelings. Like he said, the NBA ain't even fun anymore right now. So yeah, it's not looking good. There's zero defense. Doesn't matter what Luca, Kyrie scores. They are just not a good team.
No, I agree. But I was gonna say they do just because I think it'll be a bigger blow if they miss the play rather than being in.
Yeah.
Because there's no way in hell they're getting up to 6 seed. They're 3 games behind on a 4-game losing streak. Like,
Yeah, they've been
I don't-
doing pretty bad after that Kyrie trade. And it's not even because like Kyrie's on the team, it's they gave up too much.
yeah, it's literally like if you look at the stats, when Kyrie's on the floor, they're good. When Luka's on the floor, they're good. When they're both on the floor, oh my god, it's a disaster.
Oh, hell.
So it's like you gave up a little too much. Like you have nobody else on that team now. Like it's literally Luka and Kyrie only.
Yeah.
It's now the Dallas Luka and Kyrie.
Like, it's so
For real,
sad.
like-
Will this be the first time they missed
Like-
the postseason with Luka on the team?
I think so. Actually, I can't remember what's rookie
I don't
year looked
know.
like.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if they did make the playoffs.
Rookie year was when Dirk was still on the team. That was his last season.
Well, yeah, I don't think they did.
Yeah, they missed playoffs
To my
that year
knowledge,
because if Dirk would have made that playoffs as old as he was, it probably would have been like a tribute video or something.
Yeah, you ain't even lying. Like I knew they were gonna have some like issues and probably lose a few games, but dude, they plummeted. Like, god damn! Like I didn't think they was gonna plummet like that.
Right.
I thought that was crazy.
I mean, the worst part is they lost back-to-back games against the Hornets.
That is a bad look.
That's
Icing on the cake, right?
icing on the yeah, bro. Like Jesus, back-to-backs too. Like that's just sad.
Well, they gotta pray Kyrie resigns that team, and then they gotta just like make moves in the offseason. It's probably gonna be trades. They're gonna give up first rounders, second rounders, because I don't remember the last free agent that signed in Dallas. So it is gonna be tough for them. I think the last one I remember was DeAndre Jordan signing the Mavericks and then went back. He said, "Nah, I'm going back to Clippers."
They're only 2 games above everyone else. I'm saying Golden State does not want to be in the play-ins. Awful home and away record, and also the last time they were in, they got bounced. So
Yeah, you're not wrong.
So I don't think they want to be in the play-ins either. They already might struggle in the playoffs, so I don't think they want those extra games that comes with the play-ins.
That's true. Because then they're just going to be even more tired, from playing those playing games, depending on how far they fall,
Yeah.
But yeah, I could see that. I didn't even think about it, but yeah, they're only 2 games or something like that ahead of 7 right now. So
Literally 7, 8, and 9 can all pass them right now. It's
Yeah.
Minnesota, Lakers, and Pelicans, and all 3 of them are 2 games behind.
we're
And
all
all 3
tied
of
for
them
7.
and all 3 of them are on win. Literally 6 through 9 are in winning streaks right now. So like the Warriors, they're probably sweating. They're probably sweating.
They do have more home games than away though, so
Oh,
that might
true.
help. That might help.
Well, that will
but-
help.
They are also bound to lose one of those games at least at home. Because they got the rest of their schedule, they have the Timberwolves today, the Pelicans, the Spurs, the Nuggets, the Thunder, the Kings, which is an away game, and the Blazers, which is also an away game, which Dame will not be playing in. So that will be a very interesting game.
It's
feel like
also
this- I feel like the season might come down to that Blazer game. I ain't gonna lie.
it's also like out of all those teams, the only team that wouldn't want to beat the Warriors is the Spurs. Everyone else probably wants to beat the Warriors in that game because they would all
Exactly.
benefit from that win.
Well, the Nuggets. Nuggets probably don't care because they already clinched.
Oh, true. That is true.
But yeah, everyone else, and maybe same with the Kings, but they'll probably go try hard too because it's the Warriors, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. But other probably than the Nuggets, yeah.
I think just if they're going to be in the play-in tournament, they don't want to be 9 or 10. Because if they're 7 or 8, they'll at least have two shots to make playoffs if they fall into play-in. And if we're looking at play-in teams right now, there's Timberwolves, Lakers, Pelicans, Thunder. And if they're 7 or 8, they'll at least have home court advantage. And, you know, their home court team. So if they face Timberwolves, I think they win. Lakers, I don't know, they're hot, so they could drop that. But Pelicans, I think that's an easy W for the Warriors. If Zion's not back, especially. That Thunder team, who knows? That's honestly a toss-up. But I do think if they fell 7 or 8, they would still make playoffs. It's just they're such a jarring team. I don't know how you lose this many away games. Like, this has to be an anomaly for a team. Especially for a team that just won the championship. So
Right.
Oh, facts. I wonder. No, go on. Sorry.
Oh, no, I don't even think they made that many roster changes coming into this season, did they? Like,
it was
they got rid of like a few players. That's about it, and then re-signed like 2 of them back. So
and then they're also dealing with injuries, but like they weren't like nothing major, were they?
no,
I haven't really been watching them like that. So yeah, it's kind of weird to see like how you just go from getting to the pinnacle of the season to just struggling, especially like when you're not at home court. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah. It's also like, if you think about it, if they get the AC, they're going against the Grizzlies.
Yeah,
And
fine.
you know the Grizzlies want them.
Yeah, they've been wanting them.
I think Warriors want Grizzlies because Steven Adams is out for the season, so they lose their like big offensive rebounder.
Mhm.
And since the Warriors lack size, that just benefits them. And, you know, Grizzlies, they be acting silly sometimes, you know. A suspension here. I think Dylan Brooks got his max text and got a suspension for a game. I don't know if that carries off into playoff, but
I think it
that
does.
trend. Yeah, so for every, I think, 2 texts after that, it's another in-game suspension.
Mm.
So that man said it's just paper. I don't care. It's really not. It's got ramifications.
That adds up too. Like,
yeah.
I mean, luckily, I think the suspensions carry over, but I think the techs don't. So, like, let's say he gets a tech, he will be suspended into a playoff game, but after that, he can get techs again. Which I'm not saying he should, but like he could. But I think that's the 2 teams that want each other. I think the Grizzlies want the Warriors, and I think the Warriors want the Grizzlies.
Oh, and going back to like injuries, I think their one key player they've been missing a lot is Andrew Wiggins, and he's been out for personal reasons. And who knows if he returns or not. But I still think they have enough. If they just keep winning their home games, they should squeeze in playoffs fine.
I mean, they're sitting pretty at the 5, but if they for some reason drop, I'm gonna say the Clippers don't want to make that play in, because let them play one of the top 3 teams. I don't think they're making it out the first round, man. They better keep that 5 spot. And they've been like right now they're on the up and up, but like they had a rocky start, and their schedule right now, here, let me see, I just had it up. So their next 7 games, tomorrow they play the Bulls, and then they have a back-to-back with Memphis. So, and we all know how Memphis is playing. And then they play New Orleans, then the Lakers, who, like Vaughn said earlier, they've been just on fire. So, and then the Trailblazers, they could probably get that win, and then they play the number 4 Suns. So out of those 7 games, I'm not too sure how many they win out of those 7. So they just got to maintain right now and just stay afloat in the 5 seed. Because if they drop for some reason, I don't see them making it out the first round. Should they win the play-in? So
Mhm.
yeah,
First round would definitely be tough. It would definitely be tough. They could go to who would the Kings play? 6 seed, right?
yeah, that'd be the Warriors if it were to end today.
Yeah, I think they don't. Yeah, they no.
Yeah.
They got if they fall to 6, that's fine. 7, no, they can't do that. They can't do that.
And
Because I think they could win against the Kings first round. Nuggets would be super tough.
mhm.
Grizzlies, that might go 7. I might give that 7.
Should-
But I'm thinking
Yeah.
like everyone's healthy and like goes crazy. But
'Cause Paul
6,
George is
maybe
injured,
7.
right?
Oh,
'Cause-
2 weeks, yeah, because his leg. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so that doesn't help them at all. So
Right. Kawhi gotta carry that.
and not do load management and stuff. He's also like another issue that they have. So
Which is weird though, because I saw it was like for the past, I think it was like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that. He was averaging like 30 and 7.
Yeah.
Like he's playing well. It's just
Yeah.
he's gotta play.
it's the thing, like
So
the best ability is availability. So
right.
Yeah. That's a really good one. I think the late Clippers are in a really rough spot because I feel like I'm looking at this. A lot of teams can beat the Clippers.
that's what I'm saying. Like you need to sit pretty right now.
Like, I don't know. Yeah, maybe 6, but I feel like the Kings can definitely beat the Clippers. So I don't know. What about you, Gene? Who do you have as your don't?
I already done said it, bro. We, the Lakers, don't want to be in the play-in. We've been fighting. First of all, we were sitting like 13 seed, like not even like a month ago. You know, we've been fighting for just to get into the play-in, basically for the whole season. Now we're in the play-in, but we still don't want to be in the play-in because Nuggets, you know, they might win. Probably will win. I think we can win against the Grizzlies, but it's not going to be easy. Kings, a little bit easier than the Grizzlies. But, you know, Kings balling out with Mike Brown right now. So, you know, none of those games are going to be easy regardless, even if we end up moving up to the 6th seed. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think we want to be in the playoffs the play-ins only because we missed last year, you know? And then that was coming off of the bubble chip. So, and you know, LeBron's going to go extra hard since he missed the playoffs. And I assume AD would like another ring, but you know,
His body might
Right.
not.
his body might not, like he might not, like I don't know, but I don't think we want to be in that play or the play-in because we would be playing the Wolves. I feel like we could win against the Wolves, but you know, it's a winner takes all tournament.
Yeah.
One game, so anything can happen in that one game.
Mhm.
And then even if we do slip to 9 or 10, I don't know if we really want to see the Pelicans either. We could probably win against the Thunder. But again, it's one game, you know, like it's not best of 3. Like it's one game. So
Yeah.
that's what's scaring me. It's just, you know, we could win in a series. We could get away with a series. One game, winner takes all. That's kind of tough. I don't think we want that play-in spot. I think we need a guaranteed playoff spot.
Yeah, also it's also the same thing as the Warriors. Like if you're already kind of inconsistent, you don't want 2 extra games in the postseason. Like especially when LeBron and AD are like, you know, LeBron's older and AD is injury prone as hell. So like that's 2 more games AD can get injured.
Exactly. Or just literally anyone else on the roster. Like, you know,
Yeah.
injuries can happen at any moment in time. So it's just, you know, we need as less games as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, and those are like big, desperate games too. So the intensity is all the more like higher, more physicality. Refs letting things go a little bit more. So it
Mhm.
is.
Yeah.
Even if you're not playing 100%, you playing like 95.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you trying to get in that playoff. So it's scary, bro. Scary. It's very scary.
All right. Dues. You want to kick us off with dues, Eugene?
Yeah, I'll do that. My dues who wants to be in the play-in is the Thunder. They got none to lose. None
Yes,
to
sir.
lose.
Yes, sir.
This is technically their first playoff experience. And then assuming they could win and then get that A seed, then they'll have a full 7 games. They're expected to lose, like they're not expected to win against the Nuggets. So it's like they just hooping at that point. And I think it'll be very exciting to see Shai in his first playoffs, as well as Giddey, both Jalen Williams, just a bunch of young guys hooping. Lou Dort, it'll be cool to see. I think they do want to be in the play-ins.
Oh yeah, that was one of mine. Especially when Chet comes back, they can
Oh, yeah.
they can be like, "Yo, this is how we were in the play-ins. Like, we have that experience now. All you can do is just help us. You can't really drag us down unless, let's be
Right.
honest, what if Chet's ass? We don't know. But like, assuming he's good, like he was in college and shit like that, like that team would only benefit. Like, like you said, there's no, even if they get swept, they're not
Yeah.
walking away like that mad. Like they still got
Right? They made the
still-
playoffs.
yeah, like they still got games against like the Nuggets, like teams who've been to a playoffs multiple times. So like,
Right.
If you think about it, they've been in the same situation before with Chris Paul because they had like what a 0.8% chance of making the playoffs.
mm,
Yeah, I
Then
remember
they
that.
make the playoffs and they took James Harden and the Rockets 7 games. So just like y'all said, they got nothing to lose. It's only upside for them. So it just tacks on more experience for their players. So should they win the play-in and just get mollywopped? Like, hey, it's just more experience for them. So and then they have, like y'all said, Chet, who's looking to return. So it's just nothing but upside for them. Like no matter what situation, they're just gonna benefit from it. So
they're also
Right.
like
Just making the playoffs itself would
That's
just be a W, So,
yeah, it's huge for them.
especially because they're also a hungry team.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like,
This rebuild, I don't want to get too ahead of myself because they could still miss play in. They could climb, they could fall. But it's looking like this rebuild has been very fast. Because Lou Dort was there for last time they made playoffs. Like James Harden like threw the ball off him for the out of bounds play or whatever. And now they're already like could make it back in with this young team. That's actually pretty insane, especially considering where the other bottom feeders are. The Rockets, the Spurs, the Hornets have been in that spot for however long. Pistons, Magic, like they probably all still have work to do, but the Thunder already have a foundation, and give them 3 years, and they'll be like legit scary.
Like a contender, like actually.
Right?
yeah,
I would love to see it.
no facts. Hey, something about spin the rock.
We love the Thunder, man. We love us some Thunder, man.
We've been praising the Thunder for this our first episode.
Yeah.
Hey, it's looking like best front office in the league.
Hey, I was gonna say, Vaughn said the fastest rebuild. This is what trust the process. This is how it's supposed to go.
What?
Like,
Man,
this is what it
what?
looks like. We always said, like, man, what if trust the process actually worked? Well, look at the Thunder. Like, it worked. I was gonna say that, like I said, Dallas does, but we already kind of went over that. So I'll say someone else. I'll say the Pelicans kind of want to be in the play-ins because that gives them time to have, if they, let's say they get through it, that gives them time to have Zion for the playoffs. And when Zion's on that Pelicans team, they're a solid team. So I think they want to extend their postseason as long as possible to give them a chance to make it far. So I think the Pelicans really want to be in that play-in spot.
Right, because he'd be putting up like 30 a game, so it's like they really just losing out on that. And then with Brandon Ingram not being entirely himself, this season due to injuries, unfortunately. It would be good to have Zion back, just scoring, doing what he does best, alongside CJ as well. Plus, we can see him again in the playoffs. So I think just that team in general, it would be cool to see them. Obviously they wouldn't go far either, but just to see them actually try would be cool to see.
And then we can get that Zion Jaw matchup. Like that would go insane. And Vaughn brought it up. They don't have Steven Adams, so Zion would basically have free range in the paint.
It's barbecue chicken, man. For real.
So I think that's a team that is one hoping that Zion would make it back in time, and two just want to at least try their hardest to sneak into the playoffs.
And plus, they got players who have who got their first taste of playoff experience, like Herb Jones, Alvarado. So you already know they're good. They're playing with a chip on their shoulder. So this team looking good, Angel. Made 2026
hard.
dynasty. You know what I'm saying? Hey.
This is true. Zion, he got them regular season highlights when he plays, but he needs playoff highlights.
Yes, facts.
I was gonna say Pelicans too, but I guess I'll go with the Timberwolves. I'm not too sure what their current team situation is. They're currently on a win streak, and I believe Cat just came back from injury, so maybe he can help them push them into the play-in. And is Gobert injured, or has he been playing? Because I'm gonna be honest, I haven't been watching too much Timberwolves.
I think he's playing. He's just not doing nothing.
Yeah, the only one who's been injured is Cat.
And he just came back
in November, and he just came back, which might be a good thing because at least he doesn't you don't have to try to figure out how to force yourself to fit into the routine. You just have to go and play ball. You don't have to worry about chemistry at all.
Mm-hmm. And their next few games, they have a somewhat tough schedule. They're playing the Warriors, and then they got the Kings, and then
the Warriors where?
That's a great question. Let me look right now. Oh, at home. So Minnesota more than likely. Yeah. And just had it. 1 second. And then the Lakers, and then Portland, who I could definitely see them beating. The Nets, the Spurs, and the Pelicans. So they have a not too bad of a schedule. But since Cat came back, I could see them coming out of the play-in. But as far as going far in the playoffs, I don't know. But I feel like they just, I don't know how to say it, but just at least got to make the play-in because you have a somewhat decent team with Anthony Edwards is probably arguably your best player now. So
that game against the Warriors too is pretty big for them because they're the 7th seed, the Warriors the 6th seed. They would essentially swap spots. I think almost maybe the Wolves would be half a game back, but then the race will just keep getting closer and closer, So
yeah,
it's crunch time. It's crunch time for real.
And I was gonna say, if this was the team that we thought they would be, we would be saying that they don't want to be in the play-ins. But because they've been performing so poorly, it's kind of they don't really. Being realistic, I think other teams can get that 6 seed before them. So I think they kind of do want to be in the play-ins. There's no way around it.
I'm complete opposite because if they fall to play-ins, they're not making it out. Because look at all these healthy teams. I don't think the Timberwolves are the strongest of the bunch. They gotta hope that Clippers team without Paul George falls in that play-in spot because you gotta think. Earlier in the season, when Cat and Gobert were playing together, they were saying it wasn't really working because they were kind of just a mid-team. And then Karl-Anthony Towns goes down for this big stretch of the season. So they still didn't figure it out because of Cat being gone. And now Cat is back, and they got to, again, try and figure something out. And play-ins, you got 9 games of the season left to figure out. That's not happening. And you got play-ins, the most intense part leading into playoffs, that you're not going to figure it out there either. So they're going to have to rework something or just hope that them being mid is enough to get 6 seed and the Clippers are just foul from here on out.
Yeah. They also got to hope, because I just looked it up, like Zion could return as early as April 5th. So let's say they lose the first playing game and they go against the Pelicans, like that's a game they're losing for sure. So like it's just it's like it's a coin toss for them. Like I don't know what they want, to be honest, but they just want to make the postseason.
Okay. From here on out, there are no more teams that should really want to make play in, because if they're shutting down Dame, that's a gone opportunity. The
Yeah.
Jazz, I don't think are good enough to make play in or win a play in game. I think they would just want it for experience for their young guys. But again, they probably do have vets they want to trade in this offseason, and you just risk them getting hurt playing in those games. There's no hope for the Spurs and Rockets. And kind of already mentioned that, so we've already covered all the teams that want playing.
Yeah. I mean, if this was like a week ago, we could say Portland, because Dame would still be like, because Dame probably wants to be in the play-ins.
Yeah.
But like Portland, like if they're shutting down Dame, it's basically them saying like we give up. Like that's basically what they're doing.
Mhm.
And then Jazz, I don't think the owner wants them in the play-ins. They want that lottery
Amazing.
pick.
Hell no.
They want Wemby.
So yeah, the West is a lot more convoluted than the East when it comes to the play-ins. All right, I think that's probably what we're gonna call it. Next episode is our last regular season All-Stars episode, and then after that, we're in the postseason. We're covering the playoffs, so you don't want to miss any of those episodes. If you're listening on YouTube, make sure you give us that like and subscribe. We are on all podcast platforms, so make sure you give us a 5 stars on whichever one you're listening to. We are on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, so follow us there at Spin the Rock for clips, episode updates, and all that good stuff. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you again next week.
Yes, sir.
Baby, hop in the rocket, yeah, we gonna blast off. I just bought my own, I can't tell you why they mad, dog. I've been eating good like